Hey guys, welcome back to Home Built, and many of you have been wondering where this car's been. Hey guys, welcome back, and many of you may recognize this car as the Rockster. This is my very badly treated 1998 Boxster that had some very horrible body modifications to it. If you missed the original video, I'll put a link up above so you can catch up. And think about subscribing to the channel, it does help us out. Now, a lot of you have been wondering where this car has been because I have been just working flat out on the Alpha for so long. I spent a lot of extra time on the Alpha because I wanted to try and get through the really boring sanding and painting phase. Now the Alpha is painted, I have a little bit of extra time that I can spend getting the Rockster going again, because it's been a bit of a bugbear as well. It was sort of irritating me. There were lots of little niggling issues that were still waiting. I've got most of them fixed now, but let me get it up on the lift and I'll show you what I have been doing in the time between the last video and now. So under here, I've been suffering with a couple of leaks that have been bugging me for ages. One of them was this pipe here. So this was one of the oil pipes coming from the oil filter sandwich plate going over to my oil cooler, and what ended up happening is I made the hose badly and it was leaking out of the end of the hose, out of the join, because it's not square, it's cocked, and yeah, that's completely my fault. Remade the hose and it's not leaking anymore. And on this side, the power steering high pressure line has been giving me an issue for ages. I was having issues with the original fitting leaking, and I couldn't get it tight enough, and I tried to make, you know, some weird olive that didn't really seal properly. The trouble is power steering lines have an extremely high amount of pressure. So what I ended up doing was flaring it and then fitting it with some stainless AN fittings, and I have, I think, fixed the leak, although there is a slight drip at the moment, but it's fixed, sort of. All right, well, in the last episode, you would have also seen me fit up the steering wheel and the Patron digital dash. Now, this dash is very cool, and in the off time, I just had to log it in the Link software. So basically, I called up the guys at Patron Digital, and they taught me through it. But basically, I just had to go into the Link software, and in the CAN settings, because it is a CAN input, I had to activate it and give it a location, and then the ECU sent the information there, and now the dash works beautifully. All right, so the last thing that's been hanging over my head with this car is its overheating issue. So those who've been watching the series for a long time will have seen that when I first got this engine in the car, and I've had it running and had it driving, and the issue that I've had is that the thermostat did not want to open. And I think it was a plumbing issue, but then I think it was also potentially an air pocket issue. What I ended up doing is I ended up getting the back of the car up on the hoist only, so raised it right up in the air, used the vacuum bleeder. I did use the vacuum bleeding system, and also I was revving the car when I was bleeding it. So hopefully now it's bled. I just have to give it a try now, start it up. Now that the dash is working, I can read the temperature, and so now it's a matter of starting it up and seeing if the thermostat will open. Okay, car's running. No leaks. We're not leaking. Temperature is currently 43 degrees, so we'll just keep an eye on that, and fingers crossed the thermostat opens. Something sounds horrible. I think it's the power steering pump, but I'm just letting it run for the moment because I just want to see if that thermostat will open. We're currently at 76 degrees. That noise quietens down a little bit when I rev it. We're currently 82 degrees. Still no sign of the thermostat, and the power steering line is leaking. That noise is really annoying, but I said when I rev it up a bit, it goes away. All right, that's not a good sign. That's 90 degrees. And the pipes are both still cold. And that noise is horrible. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Oh, that's not good at all. Oh yeah, that's a lot of smoke. Something's not happy. This car's nothing but problems. Ah, driving me crazy. Ah, why so many problems? I just want it to work. Oh. So basically the thermostat, it got up to 91 degrees and the thermostat didn't even look at opening. Yeah, the heater pipes are both cold to touch. They're aluminium, bare aluminium. They'd warm up straight away. If they had any hot water running through it, you'd know about it. Something electrical went very smelly there. I'm just going to let it cool down a bit and then I might open it up and see what it was. I've got it up on the hoist now just to check underneath. I thought it might have been some of the wires to the starter motor or the alternator, and that all seems okay at this stage. So yeah, I'm scratching my head again. I'm going to have to go through my plumbing because I don't think it is an issue with the thermostat itself. I did pull the thermostat out, I checked it, and it all opened and seemed to flow properly the way it's supposed to. I'm really scratching my head at the moment. I don't understand why the cooling system's not working. And yeah, I'm gonna have to go through both things, have a thorough look and see what I've done wrong. I don't know, I don't understand. I don't understand. Why? Why? There is also that horrible rattling noise. I don't know if it's a big end issue. I don't think it should be. There's plenty of oil in it. I don't know. I just don't know. So more investigating. Let's go. All right, well, I think it's finally starting to sink into my thick skull about how the cooling system on this car is supposed to work. And I have an idea now. I think I know why it wasn't working. What I've done is the expansion tank I've never really, I haven't fully understood, particularly this sort of closed system on this car. In the Boxster, you can't see it. There's no radiator cap. There's, I mean, I understand the basic concepts of a expansion tank and how it works, but visualizing it on this, because you can't actually see where all of the hoses come in, and there are also extra hoses. There's the main coolant line on this that goes to the cooler side, the feed side of the expansion tank going in. But there should also be a vent going to the expansion tank from the hot side. And looking at the way I've connected it up, I haven't actually connected that line. So from this expansion tank, the standard Boxster expansion tank, there's the main line going in, which I've connected up. There is a line which I believe is a breather for the radiators, and it's that is connected up and left the way it was. It still continues, wraps around and goes all the way to the front of the car, so I believe that's what it's for. And then there are two other lines. One is a vent, which I can see sort of goes to nothing, and the other one I haven't connected, which I'm pretty sure is that hot side, which is supposed to, originally I'm pretty sure goes to the oil cooler on the 996 engine, which is the highest part of the engine. So that should be going to the highest part of the Audi engine, and that happens to be one of the little nipples that I welded up, that's basically right under the air intake of the car. So I think that is the actual issue, is that I haven't got that connected up. And I've got a feeling now that horrible rattling noise I was hearing was because the water pump, I have an air pocket in there, and the water pump's probably run dry, and that rattling noise is probably the water pump, which was replaced not that long before I got this car, but I think that's probably what it is. Which means, to fix it, I think the engine's got to come out again. I've got to pull the timing belt off again, get in. I'm going to take out the water pump. I'm going to take out the thermostat and double check that as well. And then try and run it even with the dead water pump. We might actually be able to see whether I've actually got some coolant flow or not. And hopefully it doesn't put too many parts through the engine. And I don't know. I'm lost. We'll see what I come up with. So you can just see the top of that nipple there that I welded over previously. That's what I need to connect up to. So you can see I've disconnected my intake, and everything is quite tight down here. So I'm going to now try and drill out the top of that little nipple and connect it up to my overflow, and maybe see if I can release some pressure from the system. All right, so I've gone through now and I've reconnected up my coolant line to everything the way it's supposed to be, and it looks like it is game over, because basically this vacuum gauge is losing pressure. So there is there's a leak somewhere in the system. So the next step, I think, is going to have to be removing the engine, change over the water pump. Hopefully that's what that noise is, and check over everything, see if I can find a leak, see if I can find whether I've done some damage to the engine by overheating it, which is quite possible. So, yeah, not as fun as I was hoping, but that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. I think I've worked out the issue now, and yeah, I think we can sort things out and move forward. I'm not a mechanic. I really enjoy the fabrication side of things, and these sort of mechanic things are less my bag, but that's just the way it goes. If you enjoyed that, do all the things, like, subscribe, join me on Patreon. I will be doing more episodes on this very soon, so yeah, we'll see you on those ones. See you guys.